first pose a question to you. Are you a juggler? Are you a juggler? Let me explain that. I think we are all jugglers. Good morning, Philotos. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen today. It's still not working. So we'll move on ahead. This time around, we see a lot of young faces here. You could be a startup founder. You could be thinking about starting a business in the future. Or you know somebody who is already a startup founder. You might be a juggler in the sense that you might be juggling between tools, tabs, or people. You could have 1,000 different applications and you're juggling between all of those and finding it difficult to have like a collaborative environment. And that is where Zoho Workplace comes into play. It's not working.
Today, studying tech company, for example, if I say how many people study Reliance or
Okay, I would have liked my slides to begin with, but then that's okay. We'll still move on ahead. So Zoho Workplace has actually is a collaborative suite, as I said. But before we move on to Zoho Workplace, as a startup founder who is trying to find a collaborative space, you might have 1,000 different possibilities, 1,000 different difficulties. One of the few things to start with, the top 5 things, is the number one thing is you might have like a scattered workforce. Your employer or your employee or your teammate could be working from Talaseri. The other person could be in Dubai and another person from Australia. So how would you collaborate between people who are 500,000 kilometers away from each other? You cannot do a thing about it. That is a very big challenge, scattered workforce. The number 2 problem is having infinite tools. You are using a tool for mail, you're using a tool for chatting, you're using a tool for something else, like, I don't know, like write a document. And you're juggling between all of those. You have 1,000 different things to choose from. How do you know which one to use when? If all you do is finding a good product to use. That is infinite tools. That is a problem that is very pertinent to us. The third problem that we have is having a dispersed data. Let's say you have a document. Let's say it's a market research data or a financial statement of your startup. You might see 1,000 different versions of it. Final draft 1, final version 6 in your mobile phones, final version 10 in your desktop. You don't know which one is actually the final version. You do not know which one to send, which version is the last final draft. Hint, there is never a final draft. Every single draft is final. And that is the case of dispersed data. You do not know which version is the final one. You have data strewn across all of those different platforms. The next is collaboration as a chore. There are various applications, yes, they are collaborative spaces, but then that collaboration is a chore. You have to have it in mind, in your conscious thought, that it is going to be a collaborative thing. And you have to work for it, you have to put in additional effort for it. It is not a muscle memory, it doesn't come natural. That is a big challenge. You have to take additional steps, which is eating away time that could be used best in some other ways. The last one is integration as an impediment. Let's say you have an email. You're trying to attach an attachment, and finally you find that, let's say you're attaching an attachment from Dropbox. You're having everything ready. At the final moment, you hit a curveball. You learn that you will not be able to attach it with Dropbox. What will you do? Will you go on searching for another integration tool right at the last minute? It could be unsecure. It could be paid. I don't know. It could be really unsafe to use. How do you know which integration tool to use? So integration is actually is at the core of having a collaborative space. So those 5 challenges are at the core of today's theme as well, because that is very pertinent to all of the startups here. For that, we have something called as Workplace. It is a Zoho product where we have Bundle. It is a suite of applications It has a mail suite, it has an office suite, and a communication suite. The mail suite is for emails, calendars, tasks. For office suite, you can have like a document or write a document, a sheet. We'll look at that in a while. So let's go about each of the 8 products that Zoho Workplace bundles together. This is a tailor-made collaborative space tailored just for you. So let's start with the first one, which is the email product called Zoho Mail. You have, the name is self-explanatory, right? It is an email service. But what is it beyond? What does it do beyond just emailing? It has calendars, tasks, notes. It integrates well with all of these applications as such because you're not just emailing anymore. You have a lot of other applications too to do it. That is where Zoho Mail comes in. It is a very secure business-to-business emailing service that you can use for your startup. The second thing is Zoho Click. Zoho Click is the communication software, the application for you. It bundles together audio calling, video calling, you can create group chats, everything together. Again, you do not need to have like a separate application for it. The third one is again the cloud storage, which is called as Zoho Work Drive. Let's say you are vacationing in Andaman and you get a call from, let's say, your employer or somebody who's a vendor or somebody who's a customer. You cannot go on your laptop and then type everything and then get a document ready. In that case, Zoho Work Drive comes into play. At the click of a button, you can easily get your documents ready at hand. It is a cloud storage and you have various plans for it. You can pick and choose whatever is the best for you. The second suite is the productivity suite, which contains a writer, sheet and show, which is the writer document, which is the spreadsheets and also the presentation software. The last one, the seventh one is the Zoho Connect, which is an intranet portal. Let's say you have a virtual workforce. How would you collaborate with them? They might be at different places. It could be a startup which has about, let's say, 50 people. In that case, how would you know whether your announcements, your vision, your mission is reaching all of those employees? In that case, we have Zoho Connect, which is almost sort of a virtual HQ, headquarters of sorts. It is an intranet where you can engage, let's say you have polls, you can create polls for it, you can have posts for it, you can have announcements, company-wide announcements for it, or enterprise-wide announcements for it. The last one is Zoho Meeting. You get on a call with a client, you're giving a webinar or you're giving a demo presentation to somebody. And in that case, you need to get on a video meeting software where you can add people to the group and then you can give them a presentation. So this is Zoho Meeting, and that is all of the 8 apps. Does anybody use any of these 8 apps? Has anybody used, let's say you use emailing service, Zoho Mail. Is there anybody here? Okay, I see a show of hands. Lovely, okay. Great. Anything other than emails? So what do you use? You're using Workplace. Okay, we already have a Workplace user with us here. Lovely. So in this case, infinite tools. That is a pain point for us. We bring in a solution for it, which is a unified platform. It is almost as a personal assistant of sorts, where everything is at one place. You just walk into your office in the morning and you see everything delivered to you on your table, having everything on the table ready for you. This is the unified dashboard for our workplace, where you can see the folder, the clicks, the files that you have, everything at all in one place. You don't actually have to go to separate applications and search for it. You can just, at a click of a glance, you can see everything at one place. So you can also see start messages right away. For this is in case of click. You have a very important message that you would like to see address. In that case, you can have click, start messages, and then it is all available in the dashboard. The second issue that we had was scattered workforce. People at different locations. How do you address that? We have something called as a remote collaboration, which is basically having a collaborative service for workforce scattered across. It is a remote working, remote collaboration of sorts. So in this case, if you see, again, you're vacationing somewhere. You don't have access to an email. How would you check your mails? How would you check anything for that matter? Let's say you're typing a Word document. How would you check that? We have offline mode for it. You can just enable offline mode and then you can use it without internet connection. And once you get internet connection, it will automatically get synced. The second thing is visualize your workforce. You don't always work under the same roof. You might have employees working at different places. So how would we collaborate? How would you know whether they are available or not? In that case, we can check the remote button, which tells you whether working remote or whether they are at your location. You can know everything at a glance. This is another attribute that we have, which is called the workflow. Let's say you are having multiple approvals pending. Let's say you have a document. You have to have consensus for it. You have to have get approvals from different people for it. Would you go on emailing them separately? Would you request them to approve that separately? That doesn't work. That takes time. In that case, we have workflow tool where you can just it's a predetermined document reviewer where you can just put it in the queue and it will automatically flow through all of those channels and you'll get it approved in no time. The next thing is, obviously, there will be need for meeting. You'll need to meet with people, you need to collaborate with people on a video meeting platform. And that is Zoho meeting for you. But let's say you meet. How would you know what they're talking about? Without the slides, I had a difficulty at the beginning to let you know what I was talking about. These slides help with that. But how would you do it if you are working remotely? That is where Zoho meeting comes into play, where you can share your screen and people will see what you're talking about. So as I said in the beginning, this is a collaborative tool. You're working on a document and somebody else has made changes for it. What if you don't have the final version of it? It is a very important financial data and somebody has changed it, updated it, but you're not in the know. How would you know that is the latest version of it? In that case, you have this real-time collaboration where if somebody is editing the document, you will automatically see them. In this case, you can see who commented on it, who are currently viewing it, where their cursor is, everything of that sort. The next challenge that we have is dispersed data. So what is the solution for it? Cloud storage. Everything at one place. So we already talked about Zoho Work Drive, but there is this particular feature that is very useful to startups, which is having a team folder. You might have data pertaining to different vendors, different customers, but how would you know which one and where exactly is your data, the team's data? We have a folder for it called team folders. You can create a folder for it and everything pertaining to your team will be under it. This one, integration as an impediment, that is a very major challenge again. And how do we address it? It is through integration is a breeze, which actually talks about we have multiple different products at Zoho, 1,000 different products at Zoho. But how can we, if we don't integrate it with other platforms, will it be a standalone product that makes no sense, right? In that case, we can use these integrations provided for different applications. For example, let's say in Zoho Workplace, we have Zoho Mail. You want to know, can you know whether you can integrate with HubSpot? Yes, it does. So you might have used multiple platforms like Asana or Trello. So you might definitely need to integrate with that. If your collaborative suite does not allow integrations, how will you manage that? it will not be possible, right? So in that case, we have integrations at Zoho Workplace, and this particular integration is for mail integration with HubSpot. Let's say you have cloud storage. How do you go on about integrating with other platforms? It is a cumbersome process, downloading the document and then uploading it somewhere else, and then you use multiple different applications. We have cloud storage integrations where again you can integrate with Dropbox, you can integrate with OneDrive, anything. And again, integrations not just with third-party apps, but if you're already a Zoho user and you're using other applications, Zoho Workplace seamlessly integrates with other internal applications as well. You might use any number of applications, integrates well with any application. So please take a look at this. Okay, so let me recap what happened here. So you might have like multiple data from, let's say, a Zoho Creator app where you need to integrate it manually, but you cannot integrate it manually. In that case, use the merge template to actually go in and actually integrate all of the details right then and there. You don't have to manually enter it. So some of the integrations that we have with Zoho Workspace. Can somebody recognize some of these? Sir, would you like to recognize something? Which application do you know in the board right now? Sorry? Teams. Okay, lovely. We have Teams here. Workplace. Sorry? Oh, okay, great. Oh, Dropbox. Okay, lovely. I'm sorry, I'm a bit hard in the hearing today. Asana. Okay, Asana. Outlook. Lovely. So I think almost all of the integrations are Trello. Lovely. Okay. There's a gentleman here who's used Trello. Anything else? I think. Sorry. Gmail. Lovely. Okay. So we have almost recognized all of the major integrations here. All of these famous integrations, if it doesn't work with your collaborative suite, it makes no sense. And so third-party apps, Zoho Workplace integrates with that. Let's just stick to that. And the last thing is collaboration as a chore. You have to make additional efforts, conscious efforts to actually see how you can integrate your collaborative space with other applications. But we have collaboration in the fabric. It is not an additional part for us. We build collaborative suites in the sense that it is inbuilt. We do not make it as a collaborative suite. Every single application is properly integrated with other applications. You are using a desktop. Not everybody uses a desktop. What if you're on the move and you need to quickly take a look at your mobile phones? If it doesn't integrate with your mobile phone, it makes no sense. It must have your multi-device capabilities, and it should be mobile friendly. Google Workspace, Google Workplace, it does have, it can be mobile friendly. It is mobile friendly. So you can use it on your mobiles as well. So you're having a conversation in your mail. It is multiple threads of emails, back and forth. Do you always use emails for another quick discussion about it? Or do you go back to WhatsApp or Teams or whatever platforms that you're using and trying to find the context there and then explaining them to them in a big paragraph? Do you do that? Or is it easier to just hit the chat button there so that they have like a conversation built around that context? They're not left out of the loop. So they know what you're talking about. So you are on the go again. You are on the move. You suddenly remember a brilliant idea, or you need to note down something that you just found out. You met a customer. They are giving down details for it. You need to note down a couple of things. Do you go to your Word document, type everything out, do you take your notes, something? Or would it be easier to just scribble on your mobile phones and get it done right then and there? It's as quick, as simple as that. This is Scribble, where you can just, as the name suggests, you can just pen down your thoughts and give it form. So, and you're on the call. Let's say the next is device handoff. You are in your desktop, on your desktop, attending a call on the communication suite. And let's say you are on the click on the call in your mobile phones, attending a call again. But what if you need to present something in your desktop, from your desktop? You cannot send it to your mobile and then send it to them and ask them to see it. That doesn't work that way. In that case, you can just have like a call handoff where you can just switch between different applications. Let's say you're on the mobile phone, you want to switch immediately to your desktop or a laptop. That can do it basically. You can immediately switch from your mobile phones to your laptops. Okay. So, instruments that record, analyze, summarize, organize, debate, and explain information that are illustrated, non-illustrated, hardbound, paperback, jacketed, and non-jacketed, with forward introduction, table of contents, index that are intended for the enlightenment, understanding, enrichment, enhancement, and education of human brain through sensory route of vision, sometimes touch. Or you could simply say books. You could save time, right? That is where this comes in. You can save time using Google Workspace, Google Workplace. How? With a no-nonsense user interface. You cannot go frantically searching where everything is once you're down. In that case, a user-friendly interface helps you go a long way where you know where everything is. You can easily understand. You don't need Shashi Tharoor or a dictionary to know where it is. A no-nonsense UI again in place of work drive. The same thing with Click. You can just check your status and you immediately know where everything is. So we were in the booth a while ago, and we had so many people come up to us and ask us, is there any AI capability for workplace? Yes, there are various AI capabilities. This Zia search is not exactly AI, but you know how in the morning you're trying to find something and you cannot find it. You immediately call on your mother, and the next second they are able to find it. In a second. It magically appears when your mother somehow is trying to find it. That is how Zia search works. So finding needle in a haystack is actually possible with Zia search. You can just type it in and it searches across all of the platforms, all of the Zoho platforms, and gets you whatever you're looking for. Be it a document, be it a chat, be it an email, be it a folder, whatever it is. And this is again, let's say you have a document where in the image it is mentioned as, let's say in this case, you want to search for a document where it has computer present. You can just type it in and the OCR does the work for you, and you can actually have the results pull up and you can see the image when you type word computer there. So let's come down to the very important topic for all of us. How cost effective is it? I'll address this in two parts. One is how can we optimize cost and how we can scale it, because both are really important. It is not just having a very low priced product, right? It doesn't work that way. We need to know whether it is the right fit for us, and we also need to know, as the startup is growing, how do we scale it? And that is where this mix and match plan comes in. So the basic plan is 99 per user per month. That is the most popular plan. It starts at 99 per user per month. The Google Workplace. Sorry, the workplace that we have. But you need to know which one is right for you. You cannot go pick a bundle just because it is there, right? You can also mix and match based on your organization size. So you can pick and choose based on what plans you'd like to have. So that is where this mix and match plans comes into play. You can just type your requirements, and you can just calculate the cost and see which one suits the best for you. So move on to the another important question that we all have. Are emails dead? Does anybody here think that email is dead? Any show of hands? Okay, so I see nobody raising their hand. So we agree that emails aren't dead, but there's a neat little caveat to it. It has transformed. It has transformed then from being just an emailing service to a lot more than that. And with Workplace and the emailing service that we have something called as Streams. Streams is a collaborative social media style thread where instead of just sending emails back and forth, you can just comment on it. You can just mention them, they'll get notified, and instead of scrolling through all of those different emails, trying to find where it is, you can just have everything at one place. And contextually, they're all as threads.
So that's one person.
Collaborate, and you can have conversations through streams. Now we come again to the important topic of AI. With Workplace, again, you have the option. Let's say you have an Excel file which has numeric data on it. How would you get an insight from it? You need to know what each of the numbers mean. Not everybody can read numbers. Visual data works a long way, but creating a visual representation is a cumbersome process. How do you do it? Is with the power of AI. Insights by Zia it automatically gives you visual representation of the data that you have. It automatically pulls up charts, race charts, bar graphs, anything that you'd like to use to visually represent the data. And it is all done in an instant. You don't need to put in a lot of effort. You don't need to have like a Udemy course done for it. So it is as simple as that. So now we move on to why Workplace. Why do our customers love it? So our customers come in all sizes. So this is a platform where I can say size doesn't matter, because literary book gifts is a small e-commerce business. It has a handful of employees working together. But Zoho Workplace has eventually been a portal where they can use to communicate with thousands of other people, influencers, for example, and they can easily integrate with other applications as such. Let's say you're not a small business, you are an R&D business. You have Simulation Lab, who have 150 plus researchers. It is an R&D, virtual R&D center based out of Pune, and they are using Workplace. Let's say you are a conglomerate, you have 5,000 users. Zoho Workplace still works for you because it is not about the size. If you are curious to know more, you can scan the QR code right here. I'll put this on display for about like 5 seconds so that you can all check it out if you wish. So again, as I said, the starting plan is from 99 per user per month, and you can mix and match plans if you'd like to. So that brings us to the end of the session. Like, do you have any questions that we can take?
How can you use it effectively for online teaching platform as an online?
Okay, so if you mean online teaching platform, is there some kind of an LMS platform, like a learning management system? So in that case, we have something called as Zoho Connect, which is an intranet, where let's say you have employees that you'd like to educate. There's a new update that's come in. You'd like to educate them on it, or a compliance that you'd like to educate them on it. In that case, you can use Zoho Connect for the LMS system that it has. So it is doable. Do you have any further questions? So we had a gentleman over here who had a question, I believe. Did you guys have any questions?
You said that there is a scribe option in this. Can we use it while in the video call option while we are chatting? Can we use it scribed and to communicate with the people?
So you'd like to know whether you can use Scribe and share it with people?
While in video call or meetings, can we share it scribe?
So it is a mobile application that you can just scribble and take notes on. You can share it later. Okay, lovely. That brings us to the end of the session. Thank you for this opportunity. And if you have any more questions, please do come to us in our booths. We will be there. So any questions, any product demos that you'd like, anything more that you'd like to get clarified on, please do come to the booths. Thank you.